Where do you all access the Prime Flix and shows you crave? Chances are that you've already cut out cable completely and have one or more streaming services you turn to for entertainment. With cable on the steady decline and everyone starting their own streaming service, how long before we have 500 streaming services and nothing good on? Today on Talkily. Hello everyone, I'm AWC. I'm here with Josh.
Hey.
Cody.
Hello.
And Christy.
Ciao.
Hi everyone. So today we are talking about streaming services. So I love my streaming services. I'm a big fan of Netflix. I do refuse to pay for CBS All Access to watch Star Trek, which I love. Basically, I just geotag that thing so that I can watch it on like UK Netflix, which I guess we'll get into a little bit later. But I mean, generally, I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for the longest time. Christy over there.
I have cable. I don't stream. I only stream. I have Netflix. I pay for Netflix, but I only use it when I go on holidays because I can tape movies and then I watch them on the beach. But other than that, no. Because I like watching stuff live. Like instead of what I've heard about streaming is you can't see the episode. Like, say if the episode is playing that night, you can't watch it that night.
Sometimes it's a delay.
Yeah,
there's a delay.
It varies.
We do pay for, well, not CBS All Access because we're in Canada, but we pay for Crave to get to the Star Trek content.
Yep.
It's worth it, I think. And yeah, we have to watch it like 3 days later.
It was 3. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think it comes out on last time it was like Discovery was on a Friday and then we got it like Sunday or Monday. I mean, you just kind of avoid the internet for 3 days.
See, I can't do that. I would love to, but yeah, I mean, the show comes out on, say it comes out on a Saturday or Friday, whatever. Whatever subsequent streaming services it's able to show on, or even the broadcast version of that is secondary, right? So it comes out later, comes out delayed, Yeah.
See, because when I was like, for example, American Horror Stories, it comes out Wednesday night. You don't see it, and it's so hard going to work the next day or somewhere where you want to discuss it. It's like, oh, did you see it? It's like, no, I'm streaming it. Don't talk to. I'm like, ugh. That just irks me.
I just choose not to talk to anyone for 3 days, and it's great, and it seems to suit me just perfectly.
Yeah, but then we see you in the corner, and you're kind of smelly.
It's all right.
Sitting there drinking your scotch, like.
Nothing you've said is discouraging me from this.
Yeah, I'm not,
policy.
From a mental health standpoint, that sounds delightful.
The only person I'm going to really talk to about it that quickly is my partner, and she's in the same situation. So
yeah. So you've got cable.
I've got cable.
Does anyone here have cable and do streaming?
I do.
You do.
Yeah. Like I've got Netflix.
Yeah.
I just have streaming.
I just take the extra money and pay for faster internet.
Yeah. So let's start off why you guys cut out cable, and then why you haven't. So let's start with you guys.
You have the peak headphones, so you go first.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Bow to my headphones.
Yes. I note your superiority.
I appreciate that. So when I moved out of my parents' place, I only got Netflix. Because at that point, it was basically nothing on TV that I wanted to watch like real time. And that was basically like the main reason. Well, that and just getting internet was what, $100 cheaper?
Yeah.
Like it was when Netflix first came out, when it was like $7 or whatever. Yeah.
Well,
and then my internet at the time was like $60 a month. So it just made more sense to do that rather than watching TV. And like, I'm usually at my parents' often enough that if there's something I need to watch, I can get them to record it for me.
I think for a lot of millennial types, it's definitely like a cost decision because that technology came of age when we were maybe just starting to move out and.
Yeah, I'm the oldest one here. Okay. Thanks. I'm Gen X, so.
Yeah, for me that was it. I didn't want to pay that much for and the thing is too, it wasn't just that it was expensive. For me, it was that, and it's different now, but at the time, and I'm aging myself here. you couldn't do a la carte or even like mini cable packages. You had like 3 options, and you may want one station. But in order to get that one station, you'd had to buy it in like a bulk of like 10 or 20 sets of stations, right? And it's different now. I think now they have little mini packages where it's like 4 or 3, right? Or even a la carte, right? Where it's a simple station.
You can buy, you can do only one channel or whatever now. You can pick one channel now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we wanted. I think we were all screaming
exactly.
for that back in the day.
And then
It was
they
like,
finally did
guys,
it. Then they finally did it. So
I think what I like about streaming services is that sort of exclusive, not that I can pick the content I want, and like those lines are being conflated both ways now. But I want this, so I'm going to pay for it. If I don't want that anymore, I don't have to pay for it. But if you've got that option with cable,
how do you watch? Okay, then this is just probably me wondering, like, maybe
ask about sports or 24-hour news. The answer is I don't watch either of those
okay,
things.
yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I'm like, it's like I need my sports channels or like cooking channels or like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. When I go to a hotel, me and my
there
partner
you
go
go.
to a hotel.
Yeah.
We are like, House Hunters is on.
There you go.
And the champagne is out, and we are judging the crap out of those people for like hours on end. But it's like a special treat. Oh, we're going to a hotel. We get to watch House Hunters for a while. So, but if House Hunters had like just a station I could pay for, I think HGTV has a streaming option in the States.
Yeah.
Last I checked.
Yeah. So let's jump over to that. Let's jump over to that. Everyone's coming out with their own streaming service now. Like everybody.
Yeah.
It used to be like it was just Netflix, and then you had all these other companies that started up. But now, we have Disney. Disney has moved in, right? They've made some big purchases. They've purchased Fox. They've purchased Marvel, right? They have Star Wars now. They have The Simpsons. They have all this content, and they've started pulling back all the content they've had on Netflix and other streaming services because they're trying to consolidate, right? Like, I think NBC Universal just basically bought back the streaming rights for The Office, which is a huge cash cow. Friends, same thing. That they're pulling it back because they want it on their own streaming services. So, how long do you think it's going to be before we just have a gazillion different streaming services where we're going to have to choose?
Yeah,
from?
I think we're definitely headed for a situation where we're paying the same price as
for
we were
cable.
for cable. We're paying for 5 or 6 different streaming services.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like within the next 5 years.
Which actually leads to the next point, original content.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that, the good thing about one of the things that Netflix has done right, and it's something that I think, there are examples of companies not keeping up with the times. Blockbuster, for example, right? Sears, where basically they had this big installed base and they either attempted or they fumbled their transition into the new age. Netflix has been pretty good at kind of evolving and keeping up, right? They started off as a mail-in service, and then they switched to streaming, and then they started doing original content well before they really needed to. But it was probably a good decision. It was probably a good decision because I think at some point they realized, everyone else is going to start pulling their shows, so we better make sure we have original content, not just to draw more people in, but to keep people here when what's happening now is happening.
The quality of that content said a lot too. Like when they were doing the original programming, I was like, that was kind of like right at the trigger start of like the golden age of television. I mean, it was a little bit after. Everyone says I think The Wire was the start of the golden age of television, but so that was 10 years before. But I haven't either. But that's what everybody says. But the quality of content, like really pushing it out there, because now you're competing on a content level, not on a I don't know,
quantity.
Yeah.
Because HBO, they're coming out with their own streaming service, right? At some point.
Are they?
They apparently so.
Oh yeah, it
really?
exists in the States. You can pay for it separately. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought because I knew you could, but as of right now,
it's included in Crave.
Yeah, it's but like you have to get like a TV package or another account to get access to their stuff.
No, HBO is in Crave.
You can pay extra to have access to the HBO content with Crave. We do it. We find it useful.
Okay.
It'd be a good, I should relook. I should take a look back at my Crave.
We watch more Crave than we watch Netflix at this point. We keep Netflix around for Stranger Things and can't really name it, and The Crown.
The Crown.
See, I
Yeah.
do Netflix because you can tape movies on it. And then you can have the Netflix and then you can take it like on your iPad and
Right.
then
Oh,
like
download it.
right.
Yeah.
that's the only reason why
I thought
I
you said tape. I was very confused for a second.
download or like, and then I used to have Crave. And the reason why I had Crave because there was one show that I wanted to watch on Crave. And then I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's on Netflix. They don't have the same content. That's what kind of makes me mad because there's a show on Crave called Oz, which I love.
Mhm.
I don't know if you watched it,
No,
if you've ever seen it.
I haven't
It's
watched it, but
Oh, it's so good. So good. But it's not on Netflix. And I'm like, oh, it's not on Netflix. If you have Crave,
That's-
watch Oz.
they're
But
going to
it's
start
very
circling those
violent.
wagons
It's-
even more, I
I
think.
know.
We're going to
Yeah.
start seeing it.
Yeah. So let's look at some of the trends that we're noticing with streaming services. Like binge watching the shows. It used to be that a show would come out, you'd have everything available to you at once, right? Which was part of the draw, right? That was one of the big things over cable. Like cable, you had to like wait
Wait a week.
every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the big pushes for streaming services, well, I don't have to wait. I can watch the whole thing now.
Mhm.
But
Not when you're watching original content.
not when you're watching original content, right? They're releasing once a week, right? And I can kind of understand it, but for me, it also like it's no longer a draw anymore, right? Because I mean, if I can't get it all at once this easily, why?
Yeah, I guess
Should I
you got a
continue?
good point. I didn't think about the ways that cable is maybe kind of shifting to catch up. Like,
Yeah.
I still feel like they're floundering a little bit, but they're doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And with the consolidation of that original content going on, you know, when that starts happening, it's almost like cable has an advantage.
When you stream on your iPad or something, right? That's where it's from.
I
No,
usually
it goes
I'll,
on my TV.
Yeah, I'll hook it up
it's
to
on-
my TV.
You hook it
Yeah.
onto your TV. Okay. Because that would just drive me bonkers if I was just watching
no.
all my shows on my iPad.
Oh, me too. No,
Yeah,
no, that has never happened.
Yeah, well, one of the benefits of a lot of streaming services now is that you start the show, say, on your TV. If you want to go, if you're on the go, if you're on the move, you can stop it on the TV and continue on your iPad or on your phone or whatever.
Okay, so then you had to buy a cable or something to hook it up, or is it
No,
like...
no. Like now, there are TVs that
Yeah.
literally have. They're
Okay, so
smart
does
TVs.
your-
they
does
come with
do you
it.
have a smart
we
TV?
use our Apple TV. We have an
Okay,
Apple
so you
TV
have smart TV. Yeah.
that gets hooked up to the
Yeah.
TV. Yeah,
Okay.
we use that.
So there's a
Okay.
box you can actually attach to it, right?
So-
Like a cable box.
So now my question is, okay, so you guys are saying that cable is so much more money, but you've got a smart TV, which
Mhm.
probably costs more than my TV. Like I've got 4 TVs in my house. I don't have smart TV, which probably
My
which
TV
probably
was free.
You don't have it yet. Most
No.
TVs now, if you were to buy a new TV now, there's a good chance that you will actually get a smart TV, depending
Yeah.
on the brand that you get. Even
They're
on
more standard.
even
They're,
on
like,
discount
included.
ones. Yeah, even on
Yeah.
discount ones.
Yeah, and you can even buy a Chromecast, which will do the same thing, or something that'll like.
So, but that
stream it
costs,
for $30.
like- okay. So because
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, if you think cable costs a lot of money, what about all the other stuff that you paid for that I have not paid for? Like you paid for
Yeah.
smart TV, that you paid for all these cables, that you've paid for this and
Right.
that. It's like I haven't. So I wonder if it balances out in the end,
Well,
or if it's
I don't know
close
about-
to.
I feel like it
Long
did it.
term?
I think it did at one point. Here's the thing. I mean, you're going to have to buy a TV regardless, right? You're going to have to buy cables regardless. A lot of these smart TVs are just they themselves don't require an extra box or anything else in order to actually access, say, Netflix or Crave or whatnot. If you look at what a standard cable package is or was, you know, it was like $25, something like that. You say you add a cable package for $10, right? Or whatever, or you do your a la cartes. The thing is that before it made way more financial sense just to do a streaming thing. If you had to choose one or the other, right? Netflix
Right.
was like what, $10, which has now gone up to like 13, I think.
Yeah,
Canadian?
it's got $13.99.
But you know, now we have Netflix, then we have Crave, now we have Disney. Suddenly, all these different streaming services are coming out. All the content is no longer amalgamated into one spot, right? So for me, one of the things I worry about, one of the things I fear about is that it's just going to end up being roughly the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be.
It will
It will
be.
be,
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
almost there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I would-
I don't
You know,
think
I
we're
think,
more
like
than
I
a few
said,
years away.
Before it was might have been a financial decision or driven that way when
Right,
I first
yeah.
started, and then I got used to it, and this is just how it is. And there's nothing on cable I really miss. Like,
So is smart TV in HD?
Yeah.
It is. It automatically is in HD.
oh yeah,
No, well, I mean, depending on the streaming service, what they do is
Yeah.
it'll downgrade it in order to get the stream proper, which I don't think you really get a lot of that with cable because it's a hard line. Well, they're both hard line connections, I guess. But
you'd have no one's not producing in
HD.
in
In
HD
HD.
right now,
Yeah.
and so like old content that maybe hasn't been upscaled comes in standard definition, right? But,
Right,
Yeah.
yes,
No.
yes.
It's all. Yeah, it's all the same. The only you might notice a lag if your internet connection's poor.
So how does do you pay just for your internet and then you
Yep.
pay for your
Yeah, because the thing is that right now, there is no separate. Well, there is a separate charge. Like you would pay for your internet,
yeah.
right? And then if you want a streaming service, you got to pay extra for that. See, the thing
Okay,
is that
yeah.
the internet, you would get that regardless, right?
Yeah, you just might get a deal because it's cut in with your package or whatever. So if your internet costs $70 and then your package costs $50, they might cut you a deal and say, "Here, we'll give it to you for $100 or whatever." My internet costs $100 because I pay for fairly decent internet.
Yeah, and you have to- and
You
you have
have
to-
to if you're
You
going
have to if you're streaming, right?
But it's just the
Yeah.
internet cost. So I'm saying, yeah, it probably
it
washes
probably
out
washes out the same,
in
yeah.
a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and it's funny, I'm with Shaw and I just got something sent to me and they've got this automatic, it's called Blue
Blue Curve.
Blue Curve.
Blue Curve.
Just got it.
Yes. and it's like what is yeah.
It's nothing special. It's a
nothing
branded router. Yeah, it's a branded
Oh, okay.
router. That's all
Well,
it
you
is. It's a
can
nice
pause it.
router.
You
It's
can
like,
tell your TV to stop
Yeah.
or go or stop or go.
It's nothing special. I just got it because the package worked or whatever. But yeah,
Okay.
I wonder if
Yeah.
like 20 years from now, if it's just going to be one and the same, you know?
I think so. Look at where music went. That's what
Yeah.
music is always like the leading indicator, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, before streaming internet, before we were mailing discs to each other in the mail, waiting for that Netflix to
I like
arrive.
that motion.
Yeah, like throwing them. Yeah, Netflix is tossing the discs out. Yeah. But no, like we're downloading music, and Steve Jobs and Apple, they realized that like, what do people like about this? What do people like about getting MP3s illegally on the internet? They like the convenience. They like downloading just a song that they want to hear. So they said, let's make it 99 cents and easy to get at,
Yeah.
and we'll create a platform. And everyone was like, that's what I want. So I feel like that's what the streaming services kind of did. With music now, everyone's moving to subscription-based models, right?
Yes. And
So-
when when iTunes came out and Apple started, they started this, revolution. And to be quite honest, I've had my issues with Apple, both current, past,
Sure.
and present, whatever, right? But you got to give them props on iTunes because
Yeah.
nobody wanted it. Sorry, nobody wanted to do it. They thought they were crazy for doing it.
Yep.
There was no way it could work. I mean, 99 cents, just 99 cents, or one
there
buck, whatever. Now,
are arguably problems with the pricing on those platforms
Licensing,
and
right?
and who gets the money. Fair, right? But
now if you look at it, there were other, I think, organizations and groups that were doing something like that, but not on the scale that Apple was able to launch it at.
not
They were-
as smoothly and with
Yeah.
the interface and everything else. And the iPod was really like the kind of the impetus for that.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
now, but then they've since rotated to a subscription model where you get all the music on, the platform.
Okay, how much
for the
does
money.
that cost?
It's like not $10 a month, $15 a month, depending on what service you use. Google has one, Spotify.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, you know what I have? I have Sirius.
Do they have do you pay a subscription for that?
I pay a subscription and it's both in my car and it's on my iPhone and it's on my iPad.
It's the same thing. It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And streaming
So-
and streaming.
But in that case, like
Yeah.
they license all music basically, or most music. So I'm just interested to see like that's where music went. So where does TV go from here as everyone starts to like corral their content into
Yeah.
their own little sacred spaces?
So NBC Universal is owned by Comcast, right, which is a big cable company in the States. So their streaming services, is going to be available to their existing cable customers for free.
So then
and-
I'll get it free.
Yeah, under
Okay.
Comcast. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then if you're a cord cutter, so you're not a cable company, you're not a cable subscriber or whatever. you would then have to pay whatever subscription. It would be like $10 or something like that. But that's just one approach that a cable company is taking, right? Because I mean, they have access to that content, but instead of just doing an exclusive, let's push out the cable altogether, it's like they're making sure that part of their business is still there, because there are still people who want and they still want and use cable. You know what I mean?
And people aren't differentiating.
Yeah.
I think just because of I'm at that generation where I will not give up my cable, because I grew up watching sports, because you can't stream sports.
Right.
You can't stream, like I like up to, like you said, you don't watch news. I love the news. I watch the news. I watch my Good Morning America every morning. Like there are certain programs that, because I'm old, okay? I'm like old.
Resisting the urge to go, okay, boomer.
I am. That's exactly what I am. Gen X, right? That's exactly. I don't think I will ever give up my
That's
cable.
the thing is, like, sports is kind of
Sports is huge.
We can talk about new. There's so many places to get news, though. Like,
Yeah, that's true,
a whole other
yes.
thing. But sports is
But
like
sports, like
they've-
the Olympics or something like that.
They've had their content isolated for years now. So like, sports is kind of the linchpin in a lot of this. Like,
Yeah.
if
It is. Yeah.
they were to
Mhm.
open that up, if you were to open that up somehow, then I think it changes the game. to a
Well, I
certain
know
extent.
you can stream sports channels. You
It's
can do.
always really technical. You have to have the right package
Yeah,
and
you
the
do.
right
Yeah,
service and
exactly.
everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
annoying. I hate that so much.
Right. So you've got like cable content, sports content, streaming content, and they're all in their own little silos. So you got to get it all into one package. And that's what that NBC thing is kind of starting to
Yeah.
do,
Yeah,
is say,
yeah.
like, we don't care where it comes from. We're just going to give you all the stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a price. And that's what I think we all kind of want in the end. I think we
so.
all want
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Let's sidestep one here.
Yeah,
Just one kind of idea here. Because we haven't touched upon it yet. Free website streaming services, or free streaming on websites. Now this is where I get my American Horror Story,
Mm.
and some of my other shows when I don't want to wait, or I can't, or I don't have cable, right? Or it's just not going to be available on Netflix or whatever. I will go on one of these sites. I will put up with so many
Just-
pop-ups.
just to clarify, when we're talking about free services, we're talking about like gently used.
Gently used
Gently
streams.
used.
Okay, yes.
But literally,
Yeah.
you go to the site, you deal
Okay.
with a pop-up,
Like, what do you mean pop up?
like a website
Something will
pop-up.
pop up in your browser.
Yeah, so like with an advertisement.
Remember
Oh.
Windows
Yeah.
XP?
Then you got to find the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find the show, right? American Horror Story. Click on it.
Oh no!
It go-
First, you find the show, and then you have to click on the right link, because there will be no less than
Yeah.
4
Different
trap links that will
Yeah.
take
Oh
you
my
to
gosh.
Just to try
I
it.
don't deal with
to
any of this.
malware download websites.
I'm pretty good with this now. I've got it
Yeah.
gone down pat. I tried showing my mother-in-law this. It was a terrible idea.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no.
yeah, yes.
I have a hard enough time getting my mom onto streaming services.
So yeah, you click on it. You finally you get the window up that's going to show it's going to display your show. You click on it to press play. Ad comes up. You close the ad. Click on it again to press play. Another ad comes up. You click on it again. This content's not available. So you have to switch to a different, what they call a different mirror. Go
Yeah.
for- do it again. Finally, the show comes up. It starts to play. You click on the button to maximize it, so it fills up your entire screen. Another ad pops up.
Yep.
So that's what I have to put up with
Oh,
to get
my-
my American Horror Story.
Yep.
I just don't.
It's like a prelude to the horror that I'm about to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
My argument would be, I know, I work a job, I have money, I'm going to pay for it. Like, again, we've gotten back to we do this a lot on the show. I think this is going to be a recurring theme. Capitalism is really the problem at the end of the day, right?
No.
So we have to pay for goods and services,
But
See, I have money too. I'm just cheap.
That's fair.
No,
you were born here.
he- he wants to watch it right away, which makes sense. So I can talk to him about it instead of waiting
Well, there's
3
the
days.
social aspect.
Oh,
Yes.
the social aspect of it.
The problem with that method, I mean, other than the annoyingness of it, is that the content provider, the American Horror Story, they don't get anything from that. They don't get any
No.
proceeds. There's not, it's all going to the website owner or whatever.
Right.
And I feel bad about it, but I'm still going to do it because it's the easiest way for me to do it right now.
That doesn't sound easy.
No, it doesn't sound
easy
easy.
at all. It sounds
no,
exhausting.
But that's, I think, there's another reason why a lot of a lot of shows are trying to make sure that they have their content somewhere out there, available on a streaming
Right.
service.
Yeah.
Right. I think the problem is that there's so many different streaming services now that you're at some point we're all going to have to pick and choose, or just get all of them. Right.
I know that like we need an
Or-
a la
Or
carte.
stick with cable.
Or torrenting makes a huge comeback.
Oh, that's a whole other
Yeah.
podcast, Cody.
Yeah, there's like a question: are we going to start to see more illegal activity? As these...
They already are.
yeah,
Like as more and more streaming services are coming up, more and more people are getting fed up with them for the same reasons they
Right.
cut the cord in the first place. So yeah, like torrenting is already making a comeback because of this.
oof, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Right? Yeah, it's the same problem is coming back. So
It's
people
kinda
are
like why
defaulting
the
to the same
internet
old
is horrible
solution.
now.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think social media is horrible
Yeah,
now is because
yeah.
the company's got their hands on it and people are making money. So now it's going to be terrible.
All right. So what do we want to see from streaming services? Like, what do each of you specifically want to see from either a specific streaming service or cable company, internet provider, etc.
I guess I want to see. I want the content to stay high quality, and I want to be able to get at it wherever I am. And I want to be able to pick and choose the shows I want to watch. So I want an a la carte. Like I want, if they're on different platforms or whatever, that's fine. But there should be like a service where like you can pick, I don't know, 5 shows that you're watching at any point and like move them into your
Yeah.
basket, right? And like I'm gonna
That
watch
would
these,
make
and then when
sense.
you're
Yes,
done,
yes.
you're not paying for those shows anymore. You're gonna pay for these shows over here because I can only watch so much TV at any
Yeah.
given point. I can only watch
Yeah.
so many shows. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like,
How about a massive streaming service where you get just a specific show,
I would be happy to pay by show
99 cents per
show
show, right?
or
Is that
yeah,
or instead of per show, how about per season?
sure.
Like I
Like,
mean,
just
or
give
like,
me a price
like yeah,
for that content, like that individual content.
like
and I'll pay for it.
and you get like say if,
Yeah.
like American Horror Story. Say there's like 10 episodes, you pay like $2 or whatever for all 10 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or-
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're
That's-
talking about
that's the-
buying the
yeah,
show.
that's-
on
yeah, this is
iTunes
like
or whatever,
yeah.
but, like,
iTunes
Yeah.
used to have
So-
that where it would
right.
you could pay. It was like
You still
15
can,
to
I
20.
think.
I think you still can. 15 to
does.
20, and you would just own the season, and you could watch them live. It was usually about a half-hour lag
Oh
between
wow.
when they aired on TV and when you got it on your laptop.
I could live with
later.
Then
half
you
an hour.
own
Yeah.
them
That I
Oh, yeah,
could.
half an hour,
permanently.
yeah.
And then it's like
Yeah.
you've bought the DVD of the season already, and it just auto updates as new episodes come out.
So they got
and they
rid of
lie
that
there. I don't think they got rid of it. I think just people stopped using it for streaming.
for streaming.
Yeah.
So people would rather wait 3 days instead of half an hour. Well, that's ridiculous.
I
That is
doesn't yeah.
ridiculous.
Cody, what do you want to see from streaming services in the future?
Something a bit more like Spotify. I wanted to say, and then Josh came up with his idea.
That's the good thing about this seat right here.
Yeah. But yeah, like either something that has access to everything that I could want, or the option to pick and choose specific shows.
Yeah. Christy,
Yeah.
as someone who is not a cable cutter, what do you want to see from your cable company that incorporates maybe something from streaming, or what do you think? What do you see in the future for cable?
For cable, what I would like is I would like to get access to those shows that I'm used to. Like, I mean, when I used to watch when I was little, or like Three's Company or something like that. Or I would like to get some of the original stuff from from Netflix and from Crave onto cable. Like if I could like you
Yeah.
said, Josh, like take from Netflix, like the original stuff and put it on my cable.
I've got an idea. This is totally, but like you need like various levels of show because there's those shows there's like shows like sports. Maybe you do watch sports that intently, but there's shows like the reruns of MASH that you throw on in the background while you're pouring
exactly.
yourself a glass of wine, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's stuff like that. Like I need to pay a price for stuff where I can be like, oh, just throw me episodes of that. I don't need to be too specific about it, but just
That's like
that's my
Friends.
HGTV content. I want to be able to yell at idiots on HGTV for
Yeah.
a while, but I don't really care what episodes or what season, right?
Right.
But then there's the shows I want to sit down and
Oh yeah, like I mean,
watch.
I need to sit down
So,
and watch.
I need, like,
sports.
tiers.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
I need to watch. Okay, this is going to be funny because I know it's not streamed or whatever. I'm not sure. Is like Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Any Real Housewives shows. I need to that's the shows that I can watch and just like brain out, like zone out and just like be
your
stupid.
guilty pleasure shows.
My guilty
Those are important.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thanks again for joining us today on Talkily for another cool discuss. Joining me today for Streaming Beat the Cable Star was Josh, Cody, and Christy. Intro-outro music is Illuminate by Ethan Rank, found on Artlist. All additional music also acquired through Artlist. All images and videos in our show acquired through Pixabay. Podcasting services acquired through Spreaker. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the show, please visit cooldiscuss.com. Check out our merch store or consider a donation so we can continue producing awesome content. Please keep in mind we are just normal everyday people talking about things we think we know something about. We are not experts on any of this. Always take everything you hear, read, or see with a grain of salt. Never get all your information from only one place, and always be willing to question. This is AWC thanking you once again for joining us.